Welcome to my channel. My name's Captain Crush. My job is to help you on your sports betting journey, your fantasy sports journey. I am going to do my best to help you break it all down and figure it out because this industry is a booming and people got to learn what's up. First things first, last week I had a hiatus. I was out of town, I was in the mountains, I was learning how to ski and had a time, but now I'm back. It's time to get back to business. We have a ton of NBA games today. I believe there's 11 or 10 or maybe even just 9. I don't know. They split the slate apart, but the fact of the matter is this: we have a lot to cover and not a lot of time to do it. I'm going to do my best here to try to get what's what out of the way, but we need to talk about a lot of things, folks, okay? Not just PrizePicks today. We got some other things to discuss. Now, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed your Super Bowl. I called the Chiefs getting the W. The writing was on the wall. My own personal hope was that the Bucks got to the Super Bowl and got the W with old Baker Mayfield cooking and cracking and getting it done. But it wasn't destiny for him. It was the Chiefs' destiny to get the W. They won. They deserved that win. They played good. Both teams played amazing. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to validate, confirm, or deny any of the crazy conspiracy theories on either side. But the fact of the matter is this: it was a great, solid game. And overtime bailed out a lot of people. The only thing I regret is taking the Kelsey touchdown prop. I should have just tucked with the public and took his yards. It was looking mint first half, his yards under, and then he soared over in the second half. What are you going to do? But we move on, and we got NBA, and the All-Star break is approaching. So remember that when you target these young men in your contest. Some of them might already be checked out because the All-Star break is approaching, okay? It happens every year. Hopefully we can fade it this year, but we have to talk about it. It has to be considered. There's 2 games today that are gonna be bangers, in my opinion, that are on the docket for today. We got down here the late night hammer at 8 p.m. Central, the Warriors and Jazz over under 240 with a crispy 1.5 point spread. And for the comment guy who got mad that I said in the mix a lot, 100% this game is in the mix. Like it or love it, it's in the mix. In fact, take a shot every time Captain Crush says in the mix, because I'm going to say it a lot. It's just what I do. No one's forcing you to watch this video, buddy. Take a hike. Game number 2. We got Denver Nuggets and the Milwaukee Bucks. We know about the guard trend versus the Bucks. It's a 1.5 point spread with a crispy 229.5 point total. And we got the Poverty Hawks versus the Poverty Bulls coming in at a whopping 238.5 points with a 4 point spread. Hopefully those 3 games can make it happen. Maybe feed some families, and maybe we sprinkle in some of the other games along the way with the 10.5, 9.5 point spread, 6 point spread. We'll see what we got. Now let's get on PrizePicks and get to getting. Somebody's gonna get got, and it ain't gonna be me, our truth. Now, PrizePicks has done their best and blessed us with a discount on Kyrie Irving today at 21.5 points. Do I love this? I wish it was Luka, but you know what? I take every discount. Rain, sleet, hail, shine. I take every discount, boys, so I will be taking this one. Now, but Cap, who do we pair it with, Cap? We need a pair. Well, I'm not here to spoon feed you, and I'm gonna give you my best insight, and that's what I can come to do. Folks, the betting industry is a big behemoth of an industry, and there's a lot of scammers, a lot of cappers out there, a lot of nonsense out there. I'm keeping it 100 with you. I'm just trying to here to guide you like the invisible hand, so to speak, and help you along your journey. Think of it like a class. Class is in session right here, right now. I'm going to talk about some things. Maybe you know what they are, maybe you don't, but let's get into it, okay? So, first things first, Daniel Gafford has long left the Wizards. He's left the Poverty Wizards, and now he plays for the Dallas Mavericks. Can he return home and find a W and help his team get this win? I'm not sure, but I'll tell you this. He played my Thunder a couple days ago, 17 minutes only, and he was able to rack up 32.5 fantasy score. Now, I don't know how many minutes he's going to play, and I tried to go back and watch that game and got denied because of the area geolocator blocks or whatever. I didn't get to pass the eye test, but the fact is the game was a blowout, but I still don't know. I'm assuming OKC went small, and maybe, just maybe, that affected Gafford's time, or maybe, just maybe, it's because he was in a brand new team. I would assume, I would hope that he gets extended run tonight going back to face his former team. I would hope that he gets to get in the mix tonight. So, with all that in mind, what can we do with old Danny boy over here? Well, we know he gets blocks and steals. We know that he has, we know his last 5 are green beans. He put up 32 fantasy points in 17 minutes. My God in heaven. What do you think the man can do if he gets to play a full 30? What? I said 30 minutes. He's probably not going to play 30 minutes. In fact, I don't think there's any reality where Daniel Gafford plays 30 minutes tonight. But can he play 22? Can he play 22 to 23 minutes? That, my friends, is what I'm going to need from Mr. Gafford. Let's go over to the handy dandy notepad. Yes, sir, it's back. We got Daniel Gafford with a 1.10 fantasy point per minute with a 13% usage rate. My Lord, that's a crispy, cruddy usage rate, 13%. A usage rate is every time the man has the ball in his hands now. Now, 1.10. Let's go over to the calculator. Let's do this live. Now, remember, this is a new team, so things are going to change. His usage rate's going to change. His fantasy point per minute's going to change. But let's just take 1.10, humor me for a minute, multiply it times 22 minutes, and bang! You get 24 fantasy points, boys and girls, and his line is 23.5. So, does the game have blowout equity? Yes, it's a high spread, but I don't try to predict blowouts because that's a fool's errand. You never know. Use it as a guide. You can take Daniel Gafford's 23.5 fantasy score if it fits your shoe size. If you like it, put it on. Try it on for size. If you like it, take it. If you don't, you don't. 1.10 fantasy points per minute. If he plays 22 to 23 minutes, he should hit this, okay? I just did the math for you. It's that simple. Now, is it a guarantee? Is it a lock? Is it free like all the little kids say today? No, nothing's free. The only thing that's free and guaranteed is the fact that the federal government is going to tax you, okay? That's the only lock and certainty in life that you have. Now, you say, Cap, I'm afraid of the blowout. I don't know what to do. They're going to wipe the floor with them. The Wizards are poverty. You know they're going to get blown out of the gym. I know that. Hey, listen, I'm not going to argue with you at all. That's 100% in play. That's 100% narrative that's worthy of considering. So if you want to go over here to the first half and take a shot on Mr. Gafford's first half and just assume that he's not going to play the full game, you can go right here and take his first half. Either or is fine with me, buddy. Remember, 1.10 fantasy points per minute. It's crispy. If he plays 22 to 23 minutes, that is. But even if he only plays 17 to 18, he could still get it done if he gets a block here, a block there. Bang, count it, 2 points there. Bang, steal over here. He can get in the mix. But we're gambling, boys. We're gambling. So Daniel Gafford, with all that being said, you just made the list. Now, we're going to go talk about this Atlanta Hawks game for a second, and I got a couple names to rapid fire off here. We got Sadik Bay. He's in the mix. We got Jamal Murray. He's in the mix. And we got the man who sold everyone, myself included, the other day, Olynyk Murray. Now, this is the deal here, boys. This game could be great, could be terrible. The Hawks are starting to get healthy. Here is the equation. The Chicago Bulls play at a slower pace. They don't have a lot of rim protection, even with Vooch in the mix. So the fact is here, if the game stays close and we get a decent game, we got to consider the Hawks. Sadik Bay, 13.5 points. Why am I even looking at Sadik Bay? Well, the man's been playing big minutes, 39, 34, and 36 in his last 3 games for starters, okay? Yes, the game went into overtime, but the fact of the matter is this, Sadik Bay, whenever he's playing big minutes, you got to consider him when his line's at 13.5. It's been at 14.5, 15.5. Like I said, they're getting healthy. Jalen Johnson, Hunter, they're coming back into the mix. Jamal Murray's in there. They're only missing Capella right now, I'm pretty sure. Hunter is not on the injury report, so he should be playing. They should be fully ready to go except for Capella. So, is Olynyk Murray in the mix at 13.5 points? Yes, he is. He's still in the mix. Am I going to personally take him? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm definitely not taking his fantasy score, but I wouldn't begrudge you if you wanted to. All right? Okongwu is only at 0.92 fantasy points per minute with a 13% usage rate. Jamal Murray has a 1.11 fantasy point per minute with a 25% usage rate, okay? I would honestly think, even though Onyeka's in the mix, a lot of his points are just going to be layups or dunks and things like that. In the game before, he missed like 5 free throws and went 4 for 10 from short range. It happens. It's not as good as a lock as it seems. There is no locks, but Onyeka could be and should be considered in your process. Same thing with Dejounte Murray's fantasy. Again, 1.11 fantasy point per minute with a 25% usage rate. And Sadik Bay's points or his points assists, any of those things need to be considered as well. And then on the other side of that coin, as always, if you want to run back from that side, you know the Hawks play fast, you can always go look at your boy Kobe White. And for his favorite play for me personally is going to be that little green goblin for Kobe's 4.5 assists. Okay, I don't love it, but if I was going to have a favorite Bull play, it would be Kobe White, 4.5 assists, the goblin. Now his fantasy score, I guess, is in play. I don't love it. I think it's going to get lowered down to 38 later on in the day, so I'm waiting for that. If you want to take a full shot on his 6.5 assists, God bless you. That's also probably in the mix. He projects for right around 6.25 assists, and 11.5 R plus A for the man, the myth, the wagon is always in play, folks. You already know. So Kobe White, you can consider him if you play any of those Hawks from the other side. It's always going to be in play. Now, as of this, it's around 2:15, 2:30 Central Time. They don't have all the fantasy scores up in the mix, but I'm going to see what we have here to decide. And we do have a Jamal Murray at 39.5 fantasy score. Now, I said this in the opening monologue. We have the narrative where guards shred the Milwaukee Bucks, right? Well, yes and no. It's not guaranteed it happens. It's not going to happen every night. It's not going to happen every game, but I honestly will be targeting this proposition, assuming that I find out that Jamal Murray has no injuries. His shoulder that's been bothering him, I need to know that it's in the mix. I need to know that it's good to go. He played the Kings. It was a blowout, but aside from that, it was a terrible game. He just came off that tough game against the Lakers where his shoulder was bothering him. Assuming he's good to go, 39.5 when I was just taking this line at 41.5 is in the mix. I love saying it because that's just who I am, boys. And if he sells, well, by God, he sells. And that is my line and my quote, and I can't be duplicated. Now, Jamal, 1.24 fantasy points per minute with a crispy, astonishing 27% usage rate. You know the matchup is good. You know it's crispy. So we got to consider Jamal Murray. It's that simple. There's no real hooting and hollering about it. Now, if you don't want to take his fantasy score, I don't blame you. If you want to fade him altogether because he's going to be possibly injured, like I said, I don't have that full report yet, that would be okay too. But let's take a look at what else he got, his ancillary stats. 7 assists, always in play. 11.5 RA, always in play. All of these are in play for Jamal Murray. I think you have to consider him, okay? And on the other side of that coin, you got the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Woo! Did I butcher it or did I say it right, chat? Let me know. Now, he's been playing Charlotte, Minnesota, tough matchup, cakewalk matchup, Phoenix Suns, tough matchup, Utah, Dallas, 56 fantasy points for Giannis. It looks so low. I can't remember the last time I saw 56. Is it in the mix? Absolutely. You got to consider it. 56 for any time. You know this guy has 80-point upside. You know he's in play, okay? I would likely consider this as my run back for that. And it also, I've been riding this low-key wagon all season long. And sometimes I get burned and sometimes I don't. But let me see if I can find it. Where you at, Dame Time Lillard? This is a shame, bro. But 40 fantasy points for Damian Lillard. Oh my goodness. When was the last time I saw this man at an even 40? I can't remember, but one of these two guys needs to be considered. Whether you go with Dame or Giannis, I don't know. I think Dame Lillard's assists is absolutely in play at 6.5. I think you could go there. You know, it's going to be tough. I'm probably just going to stick with Giannis, but I wanted to throw that out there just in case. Dame Lillard's assist is probably a decent proposition for you to consider. Probably the worst goblin on the slate right here, 19. I would never take this goblin for Dame Lillard. No way, no how. Anyways, let's see if they got anything up for the game that should feed families, the Golden State Warriors game. Let's see what they got for old John Collins. I'm begging you to have something. All right, so Draymond Green and John Collins, 16 rebounds. It's in play. Absolutely. I'm not going to go into a deep dive on that. You automatically know John Collins has been a wagon. I have been riding this train until the wheels fall off, and I don't think the wheels are falling off tonight, folks. His RA at 10, it's in play. His points plus rebounds, where is it at? 6. Nope, that's not it. Well, let's just say his PRA at 26.5. It's in play. Now, what would be my favorite thing for John Collins? It would be a fantasy score. And notice they don't have it up. They don't have a fantasy score up for my man, John Collins. He's had a resurgence lately. I love what I'm seeing. I think that you need to consider him. Again, No fantasy score up, so I'm not exactly sure what to tell you to take. But this right here, it used to be at 5.5, now it's at 6.5. This is something that you need to be considered. In my paid Discord, folks. Now, some people give me flack for this, but I don't care because I'm not there for you. My Discord is something you should be joining if you join and use it as a learning experience, okay? It's a very small fee given the fact of what I do in there. I do daily live streams Monday through Friday. I give you my projection model. I give you all the plays that I personally like, and I answer your questions. I do giveaways. I do a lot of stuff. I keep it fun for everybody. And on top of that, I have role members in there that help me out and give out plays and slips for you to tail till your little heart is content. But it's a learning thing. It's just like a tool, just like you would pay for Outlier, just like you'd pay for DG Fantasy. It's a tool, folks. And I charge the minimum amount possible to make it worth my time, 83 cents a day. But I'm telling you this because what I've been doing in there is something I coined the daily double, where I take a proposition, whether it's a discount, a normal square, or whatever. I try to find the best goblin I can or the best other pair I can to give you 2.1x or 2x so you can double your money. If you do these daily and grind it out 2x every day, that is how you can build a bankroll. 99% of you watching this video need to build your bankroll before you're worried about chasing 5-man, 6-mans, nuking anything, or doing anything like that, okay? And if you think that, well, I'm just going to take any goblin and every goblin and I'm guaranteed to hit, you're wrong. There are good goblins and there are bad goblins. Finding them is still just as much of a time-consuming thing as anything else. It takes time, okay? So, if you're interested in joining my community, you go to CaptainCrush.net, the gold package. Silver will get you just my playlist for the day. And the gold package is the golden ticket where you get my projection model, the live stream access every single day, Monday through Friday, where we build slips. I answer your questions. I go over it. I review your slips. We get in the Discord. You do it all. Like I said, it's like a big classroom, okay? It's where I give you guys all my experience and try to make things simple for you, all right? Now, I don't think I'm better than you. I'm not better than anybody, but what I do is I teach this stuff. I teach the principles. I teach the fundamentals. A lot of people don't know these things. A lot of people are new, whether you're new or old or whatever. I promise you, you will get your money's worth. I put my heart and soul into this, regardless of what anyone tells you. Yes, I did take a 4 or 5 day break, but I was still in there posting as best as I could and giving out fire information. And most importantly, I try to make this fun for you guys, okay? And I'm doing my best. I do my best every day. I'm going to be switching things up. I totally have a ton of loyal people in this community that are good to me and the rest of you. They help you guys out. It's a great thing that I have going here. But like in any community, there's always going to be people in the mix that are going to try to cause problems. So when you do join up, come in with an open mind, ready to learn, and you'll get your value and everything else. And I hope to see you there today at today's live stream, which will be down here at around 4:45 Central Time. And when you are in here, you can go to my daily news and you can get the projections and everything else that I post for you guys, the projection model for the NBA players and everything else, and you can make your own reads. You can also get a free trial by signing up with any one of my partners. The links are in the description. I appreciate all my loyal subscribers, the day ones, the day hundreds, any of you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. I promise you I do my best to work with people on an individual basis as well. I hope to keep growing in 2024. I will be resuming the TikTok live streams the night before, which are going to be for everybody, and we're going to go over some things over there and make community slips. I hope to see you guys in there as well. You can get my TikTok handle. It's in the description as well. Now, let's keep moving and see what we got here, okay? We talked about Gafford. We talked about some of the Hawks. We talked about Jamal Murray. We talked about Giannis. Is there anything else in the mix? Well, speaking of tools, remember, I use Outlier Bet every day. That's where I do my deep dive analysis, but you can also use tools like this, DGF Fantasy. Again, the link is in the description. Click that. And this is where you will have an amazing time saver. And I get it. It is a little bit pricey. It's around $60 a month, and I understand that, which is why I try to provide the best I can for people. But this will save you time. It gets you all of the lines for the sports books and puts it up into one place so you can compare it and save yourself time. I'm trying to see if there's anything that is notable on here, and here we go with Trey Mann, okay? 53.38%, but Trey Mann is on a new team. He's a new opportunity. The kid's hungry. I was looking at his fantasy score at 24 the other day, earlier today, I should say. But now it's at 19.5 at minus 128 on Pinnacle, which is the de facto sharpest book. So we can go over here and find Trey, man. Where you at, buddy? And we know he's playing the Indiana Poverty Pacers, which is going to be a great matchup for him. He played Memphis. He put up 22. Again, you know he's going to be hungry, so we can automatically put that in our back pocket. I would honestly probably just stick to the PRA or maybe the fantasy score here and go from there. You know you're getting value. You know it's solid. We can see right there, minus 128, minus 135. The consensus is minus 135. And then the last person that I'm going to discuss is Jakob Poeltl, which is a narrative game because he's going back against his former squad, but the Austrian player actually played for the Raptors, then he went to the Spurs, and now he's back with the Raptors, and he's going to play the Spurs again. I am hoping that he shows up tonight and gets a W for me because I will be taking his R plus A. Where is it at? At 11.5. My model liked this projection. I like this projection, and this will be the final thing that I talk about here on the YouTube. I will go over a couple more things. Where's the notepad? Jakob Poeltl, 1.08 fantasy points per minute with a 15% usage rate, okay? It's not that sexy, but 11.5 RA, I think he can get this. Again, I'm pretty sure he's projecting for 12 right now in my model. I love it. And as I'm saying that, he got bumped up to 12, and you hate to see this, but this is the world we live in. You got to be fast. It's a big industry. I hope that maybe some of you guys that are in my Discord got this in when I called it out earlier. But for the YouTube, with that in mind, let me go see if there's anything else since they just stole that right from under me. Let's go over to the man, the myth, the legend, Curry. Now this game, again, John Collins fantasy needs to be considered, but whenever I see Curry under 30, 29.5, the other day he was at 28.5. Curry always needs to be considered. Back here to the notepad, 1.32 fantasy points per minute with an astonishing 31% usage rate. My brothers and sisters in Christ, Curry is in the friggin' mix. Absolutely, there's no denying it. Where is he at? His fantasy, is it on the board? They don't have it. Okay, 9.5 RA, I've paid as high as 11 for this. It's solid, okay? His points plus assist, it's solid. His PRA, where is it at? Where's his PRA? 39.5. He can get 40 real points by himself. I'm telling you, he's in the mix, okay? And his goblin at 24.5 points, you can consider that, baby, because it's right there. Now, hopefully that game stays close. It's going to be a banger on paper, but we need it to stay close. And speaking of close, is Kuminga on the board yet? Oh, buddy, they got old Johnny Kuminga. Now, remember this, folks. His goblin was at 14.5 for the longest, and I was riding that train until I was forced off. And now they have it all the way up to 17.5, so I finally have to come off the Kuminga daily double train. If you want to take a shot on Kuminga, I would literally go to his demon assists. Absolutely. If you're going to take a shot on his assists, just take the demon. And if you want to take his points, just take his points. I'm sticking with Curry, but I may have little exposure to Kuminga. Again, I teach you how to build slips correctly in my Discord. I teach you the theory, the way anchors and darts, everything. I go over it all there, and I do it in the live streams daily for you guys. I hope to see you all in the live streams today later at 4:45 Central. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube. Listen, I just got back. I got to get back into the swing of things. Got to get back on the grind. I got Super Bowl hangover. I got Taos Mountains hangover, but I'm going to get back in the mix. We're going to get back on TikTok Live and do those streams. And folks, I'm telling you right now, regardless of what any hater says, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I do put my heart and soul into this, and I hope that maybe I help you out just a little bit. I'm not here to spoon feed you. It's unsustainable. I hope just to help your process. That is my goal. That is my desire. I'm begging you to understand that. With all that in mind, folks, I bid you adieu. Here's the salute. Good luck in every contest you play tonight. And my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.